Hello, Mares. So today we are going to be doing a general and a love reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of October 2020. If you're new here, my name is Whitney. Welcome to Law of Attractions and Mares Tarot, where we use the cards as a tool to help integrate the fragments of ourselves into one so we can self-actualize into the people we were born to become. With this knowledge, we can begin to manifest all of our deepest desires if we simply take responsibility for our power. And if you are new here, I would love if you would go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you added to my family. I'm going to be doing both a general and a love reading. So if you're interested in one or the other, the timestamps will be in the description box, so you can just quickly go from one or the other. And also, if you're interested in a private reading this month, I'm going to be doing questions at $7 a piece for the month of October. If you are interested, you can ask as many questions as you like. Each question will take about 10 to 15 minutes to answer. But let's get started, Virgo. Wow, these two wanted to come right out, so let's lay these out. The Fool in the reverse, the Hierophant in the reverse, the Four of Pentacles, and I'm hearing to go ahead and clarify each one rather than to explain them as they are now. It's not exactly typical for how I read, but I listen with my intuition. Okay, the Fool in the reverse is clarified by the Queen of Cups in the reverse. The Hierophant in the reverse is clarified by the Five of Wands in the reverse. Okay, wow. And then we have the Four of Pentacles clarified by the Five of Swords. Okay. So starting off this month with the Fool in the reverse and the Queen of Cups in the reverse, it seems like there's a little bit of disconnect with your next phase in life. Okay, it might be that you are approaching this month with a more straightforward kind of view where you're not idealizing, because oftentimes the Fool is very idealistic, and the Queen of Cups can be too. I mean, she's very aware. So the thing is, maybe perhaps you need to be embodying a little bit more of bringing your emotions into this month. It is important, even though it's a healthy practice to detach. Our emotions are meant to be a compass. So maybe rather than avoiding starting something new or avoiding your emotions, you can use your emotions as a compass. Maybe start to view them as, hey, I don't need to be super attached to these emotions. I don't need to identify with them, but I can use them to move me forward, to help me understand if the direction I'm going is for my highest good, if it's in alignment, if it feels good to me, because that's what they're meant for. So that's starting off, because then we have the Hierophant with the Five of Wands. Both of these are in the reverse. So a lot of times I read Five of Wands in the reverse as the inability to understand that the conflicts in your life are there to help you grow. We do manifest our reality. And why do we manifest difficult things? Start to think about your past. Start to think about the things that have been difficult in your life and what sort of epiphanies they've led to. How sometimes the hard things in your life end up pushing you towards things that are better. This is really a time for contemplation for that. It's extremely important. With the Hierophant in the reverse, this is really about letting go of these structures that you've held on for so long too. So maybe you've been overly identified with your conflicts, overly identified with the difficulties in your life. So I'm really getting this sense of newness, like I've been getting in every single reading this month, which is really exciting. I feel like globally and astrologically, we're all going through a lot of major changes. But this is really necessary to start viewing your past obstacles as ones that have helped you grow and allow them to alter your identification. Allow them to, I don't want to say alter your identification so much as expand your identification. You're meant to go out of your current confines with the Hierophant in the reverse. But it does seem like you're kind of holding on to something, okay? Your Four of Pentacles is often about holding on to things, being overly identified with your reality, being overly identified with your Pentacle energy, the things around you. And Sometimes that can actually result in us putting up walls with other people. Both of these cards, Four of Pentacles and Five of Swords, are a defensive type of energy. They're an energy of not letting people in, whether this is mentally or physically. I see both here. And so there does appear to be a lot of resistance this month, Virgo, but I do want to go into your oracle cards and kind of see why you're at this stance and what kind of advice the universe has for you this month. Okay, what does Virgo need to know for October? We have love and light, act with care. So I'm going to get another one from this other Anna Stark deck, which is, these cards are so beautiful. Okay, that one wanted to pop right out. Okay, we have sound. So love and light, and we have sound. Okay, so with love and light, act with care. I think that if you can maintain this kind of energy where you start approaching situations, including how you love and treat yourself, with both love and light and care, and also care, you'll actually be able to move past a lot of these limitations, a lot of these feelings like I need to hold on so much to my current beliefs because they define who I am. When you experience things with love and light and care, you actually expand outside of your current identification. It doesn't mean you need to throw away everything that you thought you've always needed and you've always identified with. It simply is a way to expand so you include more inside of your definition of yourself, and also your identification of how you view the universe, other people, those kinds of energies. Another thing I want to mention is light. Okay, so in the spiritual community, a lot of times light is thought of as rainbows and puppies and sunshine and all that cutesy stuff. But honestly, light means information. It means truth. And we all know the truth can sometimes be very, very ugly. There may be some things that you need to face and be brutally honest with yourself in order to move on, and then infuse that situation with love, because you can understand, say, for example, you kind of started to think about your past traumas and started to understand why you may feel the way that you do, why you may have some sort of boundaries up, okay? Because maybe you were abused as a child, for an example. Well, you can look at it from the perspective of what did my parents go through, what was going on with them on a spiritual level, and that's bringing in light to the situation. It doesn't mean that you make excuses. It doesn't mean that you just, forget. It just means that you're seeing things from a higher perspective, from a more expansive perspective. And then you can infuse love in the situation. Again, doesn't mean you go back to abusers. It doesn't mean you say it's okay. It just means that at that point you can see something from somebody else's eyes and you can understand why they acted the way they do, which helps to move on. I feel like you're really ready to move on from the past. But again, there seems to be stuck energy. Sound can really help you with that, guys. So whether this is music, and something you might want to do, and I love doing this, is when I'm having trouble in my life, a lot of times I will put on my playlist and I'll set it on random and I'll ask a question. And a lot of times the answer is within the song. Sometimes the song gives me certain feelings that'll bring up something, or the information could be straight in the title or the lyrics. So you may want to try that. You may want to do singing. You may want to do so you may want to do that kind of thing. Something with the vibrations will kind of help you move on. I'm hearing it's going to help you move on from some of these past wounds. So I want to look specifically at what these wounds are that you're ready to move past, and what could be preventing you from moving forward. Yeah, we have Phoenix, right? Wow, this card has come out in almost, I think, like half the readings, guys. Okay, so when I ask the question, what is holding you back, and I kept Phoenix rising, this is yourself. You are holding yourself back because you are that Phoenix. So a lot of times this is resistance to death, and death sounds really scary, but this is more death of the ego, death of what you identify with. You have to allow this to fade away so you can rebuild yourself even more strong, more beautiful, more graceful, more understanding, more loving. I would like to look into these dark mirror cards and see what's going on in your shadow, and I will read from the book because I think one of the biggest powers in these cards are really the explanations in the guidebook. I highly recommend getting them. Okay, we have Naked Before the Stars. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you guys. T.S. Eliot said, "A fly that lives a single day." I'm reading the wrong one, guys. I started reading number 13 instead of number 18. That one's Blinded by Pain. So I don't think anything's a coincidence. I think maybe I started reading that because maybe you're blinded to the pain that the past has caused you. But let's go ahead and read the actual one we're looking at, Naked Before the Stars, which is about accepting our beauty in size, color, age, and fat. Okay. What do we see when we look in a mirror? Do we see something we like or something we dislike? Something we care, so care's coming up again. Or something we are a slave of? Do we compare ourselves to? What do we compare ourselves to? To the stars of a media firmament leaking into our real life, to the social models, to the beauty queens and kings of the eternal pageant, to the inner self, to the idea we had when we were younger, to the eyes of the people loving us. I wonder what feelings the words curvy, cute, chubby, fatty, rounded arouse within us, of a smile or distaste or recognition. The quest for beauty is not an empty quest. Even if beauty is not as deep as the ocean, still when we shine, our world becomes brighter, but we will always feel naked in front of the stars. We should just learn not to blush and to stand proudly. Wow, okay, so this is all about being comfortable in the skin you're in. And oftentimes when I see a lot of cards coming up about identification, letting go of the ego, you would think that somebody who's very egotistical, you know, and I don't want to call you egotistical, guys. I'm a Virgo rising, so I am already relating a lot to this reading. Ego is simply that we identify in a box and we have trouble expanding outside of that box. All of us struggle with ego problems. It's why we're here being human. It's just human nature, but our goal is to get out of the ego. But you would think somebody very stuck in their ways might be overly identified with their body, and you can be. You might feel like when we hear the word egotistical, we think of somebody who thinks that they're hot S and they're really superficial. Obviously, that's not the thing that's always true. This is about needing to be a soul and allowing your soul to shine through the beauty that you have. Everybody is beautiful, and everybody is most beautiful when they are in their power and they're comfortable and confident. You know, the world says confidence is key, and it's absolutely true. Okay, that is a true statement. It's not just something, it's not just an empty platitude, okay? It's a very real thing. So I do find it interesting. These women in these cards are very reminiscent of each other. It looks like the same woman, the same features. These are obviously two different decks, two different artists. So I do find it interesting. So I feel like when getting to this point where you can be naked before the stars and you can feel comfortable with yourself and your confidence, that is when you can rise up like a phoenix amongst the ashes and you can be reborn into something new. And so if you do have body issues, if there's parts of your body you feel are not attractive, you are very overly identified with, I personally believe you can change any of that, like any of that. I mean, even like to the point of being a shapeshifter. That's my personal belief. I believe in law of attraction and the ability to change anything that you want, but you can't do it until you accept yourself. And accepting yourself shouldn't be for the purpose of, oh, I'm going to accept myself just so I can be better, okay? Because that's not really accepting yourself. So this month, really get in touch with your body, literally naked before the stars. You might want to just stand in front of a mirror naked and connect with yourself. Love yourself despite any flaws, perceived flaws or anything like that. See yourself from a different point of view. If you do this enough, it might be hard at first, but eventually you are going to move past those like negative feelings, especially whenever your intention is to do so. So we have once was innocent. Knowledge means change. So again, we have a lot of change. Naked before the stars, Phoenix rising, once was innocent. All these cards to me really promote change. They really promote moving on from the past, but we have knowledge. Like I was talking about light. Light is knowledge. Light is what actually allows us to move on and to change, because once we receive information that's aligned with the truth, that's when we can truly change, not just change because we feel like we have to, like we feel like we must. Okay. A win-win outcome is forecast. Beautiful. So you have this, a lot of times feels like the Justice card. This is full moon in Libra. So if you're you know, we had 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords. If you're in conflict with someone that you care about and you're really worried about what's going on, it is possible for both of you to come out on top. So this is really dependent on your own belief system. Okay. I'm really picking up on the moons here as well. So this card, first of all, it reminds me a lot of this Love and Light card. So with Love and Light, you can create a win-win outcome. And then I'm also getting the moons here and the Once Was Innocent. So how does this win-win outcome come about? It comes about by being really knowledgeable, really honest. And with Once Was Innocent, this feels like the Hierophant in the reverse as well. So there's a lot of synchronicities already. Okay, let's get this card for you. Oops. You are moving onto a steady and reliable path. Okay, that's a really great message to come out with all of these other cards that I see. There is, it really does feel like the universe is on your side. You're ready to move on to the next phase of your life. And not only is this next phase like you being a phoenix amongst the ashes, it's also a steady and a reliable path, meaning that if you're feeling overwhelmed and you're really frustrated with the current limitations, if, you know, a lot of times we're like, oh no, not another awakening. And we associate awakening with like difficult times, or not necessarily difficult, but a lot of energy. This is a more like calming, peaceful, again, reliable energy. Okay, we have health and healing coming up. So that is just a confirmation of everything above. And we have trustworthy friends. Thank you, angels, for surrounding me with people I can love and trust. So this could be very important for you this month to surround yourself with people that you love and you can trust. And if you don't feel like you can trust someone, or you don't feel like, you know, they're treating you lovingly, or you have trouble treating them in a loving manner, this is not the time to be around those kind of friends. This is a time to be around high vibrational friends that can help you with your health and healing. We have storm warning. Okay, I want to know why storm warning is here. A lot of times this is a sign that if you don't, you know, switch your path and you don't take heed of approaching things in a more peaceful, loving, calming way, and you choose to ignore the signs the universe is giving you, it can present a tower moment in order to get you aligned. It's nothing negative. It's just that oftentimes we need the universe to push us into alignment. But one thing I've learned about storm warnings is that, oh wow, okay. One thing I've learned about storm warnings and the tower moments is that they are always for my highest good, and that I can straight up avoid them if I choose to take action before. Okay, now this isn't always the case. I do believe there's some things that we're kind of fated to go through, but for the most part, I do feel that way. Wow, so I asked storm warning what this is about. We have King of Wands and the Emperor in the reverse. So this could be about a relationship, but because we're not in the love portion, I don't know. It could be because I am about to move on to the love portion. You may be dealing with someone who's not, who sees you more as like an object versus something more, and you want more. That could be for some of you guys if you relate to that. But I'm actually, the feeling I'm getting with these two cards is feeling like the universe is saying you don't want to feel like, yeah, I'm going to go in this direction. I'm going to start this new project. I'm starting this new business. I'm quitting this job because it no longer serves me, and then not taking action. So this feels like if you are just, you get this energy and this momentum going, but you don't take action, then a storm is going to come in order to make that happen. Because once you put that energy out there, you actually you know, you set the wheel in motion for things to happen. So either you can take conscious action, or you can take subconscious action, which means the universe brings in new type of things to help push you in the direction you actually want to go, okay? So I am going to go start on the love reading. I'm really curious to see what comes up for you, Virgo. So I'm hearing to start off with one of these Angel of Whispers cards to see what is the primary way that you can focus your love energy this month. Consider your foundation. I knew this one was coming out. I came out in, I think, 3 readings this month so far. So this must be a big thing we're going through on kind of a global scale. So you're being asked to look at how committed you are to love. So you may think that you want somebody to come in and to save you and be your prince or princess charming. You may think that that's actually something that you want in your life, but you're not showing your self-love. You're not allowing, oops, I'm so sorry, guys. You're not allowing others to love you. You're not loving yourself. These kinds of energies. And if that's the energy that you're in, you really aren't committed to love. You might be wanting to be single, or you might be more of somebody who is kind of putting all of their eggs in multiple baskets and, really hoping for the best. There are a million different possibilities here, but it is important to consider how truly committed you are to the kind of love that you want. The reason I keep saying multiple people is because I see the 3. So if you're committing yourself to you like the idea of polyamory, or you like the idea of monogamy, you need to actually be real with that. You need to be really true to yourself, and you need to actually do things in alignment with that type of energy. We have the Pleiades double mission, or sorry, Pleiades, however you want to pronounce it. Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity, and Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, and divine plan. So when I see double mission in conjunction with a love reading, my immediate thought is loving yourself, and that energy will come back to you. Now, people don't like to hear that in a love reading, but if you come to my channel, you're probably going to hear it a lot because it is so true. It's something I've been working on, and it's something that I don't think you can really find lasting, true love on a deep level for a long time without this type of internal healing. We have channeling and uplifting humanity. So helping other people can help you get your mind off of this person if things aren't perfect, if you haven't even really built a foundation. Helping other people will really bring more love into your life. This isn't just about, romantic kind of love. This is about being true to yourself and being true to your mission while you're here on this planet. Then that plants the seed. So that's seeding the foundation, seeing the light, laying foundation. So here, I think these are the only 2 cards in all the decks, like the 37 decks I own, that talk about foundation. So you are ready to set a foundation for love, something firm, something that can withstand the test of time. When you do that, that results in being in alignment with your divine plan, because we have mission, we have plan, we have foundation and plan. So once this foundation is set, then it's like the stars are the limit, and you can go and do and succeed in anything that you can ever dream of, okay? But it does take actual real work. It takes being real with yourself, and again, setting that foundation, and that foundation always has to be a foundation of self-love, okay? Always, always, always. Okay, so all of these cards are coming up in reverse. I haven't read them yet, but when I see 3 reversals in these love cards, a lot of times it's saying that it's time to take a step back. It makes sense if you're ready to relay this foundation, okay? So we have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. It's in the reverse. So I think you should always be optimistic, but this could be saying that this month is not the time to work super hard on affirmations and all of that, unless they're self-love affirmations. If you're focused on a certain person, don't feel like this person's not going to be there or anything. To me, this energy really feels like stay optimistic about you, and that your love life will come off the ground, but you have to set this foundation, or else you may, things may fall apart. If you're dealing with an on again, off again type of situation, like many of us are. A lot of times the reason it falls apart is because that foundation is not there. It hasn't been set properly. We have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. That's also in the reverse. So that might be why you might be in this kind of energy where maybe you didn't keep an open mind. Things haven't been exactly like what you expect. Either this could be if you're single, in a relationship, situationship, etc. It doesn't really matter. If your mind isn't open and you're not allowing new types of energies to come in, you're going to deal with the same types of things. And it seems like you do want something different, Virgo. Romantic feelings in the reverse. Your feelings are real and they're worth exploring. With this being in the reverse, again, this really feels like this is not the month to go really hard on focusing on another person. This is a month for you. Absolutely, 100%. I just keep getting that message, and I think it's super important. We have 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, Minotaur. By the way, guys, these cards are from Spirit, the Halloween store. They're like $8. Highly recommend getting them. I think they're interesting. They have little mythical creatures on them, and I'm still trying to understand what each of these means in terms of the associations with the card. I wasn't trying to get to, but I will do that. But like the moon werewolf makes sense, okay, right? So we have 4 of Wands, 3 of Wands, okay. So with 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, right here, with laying the foundation, wow, that really makes sense, right? Because 10 of Pentacles is like you have the happy house and the home and the children and the perfect job, the perfect spouse, everything you want. You're actually at the point of leaving a legacy. But with it in the reverse, it's saying like, I feel like you're becoming aware that where you're at now isn't where you want to be. There's too many things that aren't in alignment. So it feels like even if you met your perfect person, that foundation isn't quite there. This foundation of self-love needs to be established so you can eventually have this 10 of Pentacles. When I see a card in the reverse, I often think, wow, that energy of the upright is right there because we're in a duality type universe. So if you can accept what, this message and work towards something greater and building that foundation, setting those bricks, laying down something firm and real, then you can have this 10 of Pentacles. It's like a promise to you. With the moon in the reverse on top of these other cards, to me, this feels like you're just, we have werewolf. Like you may not be aware of all these things that are keeping you from this. Sometimes people read the moon as coming out of that, and I could be reading it both ways at this point. I think it's up to you. Are you going to stay unaware of what's blocking you? Are you going to delude yourself into thinking somebody else is going to come in and make you happy? Or are you going to be real with yourself, like very real with yourself? This is up to you, okay? So we have 4 of the Wands, Fairy, 3 of Wands, Brownie, and I'm not sure what a brownie is. It looks like a little elf. Okay, so when I have cards that come out together, 4 and 3, this is kind of like, I don't want to see a de-evolution, more like a de-escalation is a better word. So 4 of Wands is you manifest what you want. I often think of it that way, especially since we are here with this fairy card. So to me, this feels like don't focus so much on manifesting this perfect person. Work on the 3 of Wands, which is a card of expansion, a card of, I'm really getting this energy of taking care of yourself. This card is a very like homey type of vibe. It has like this, like, this little elf is cleaning the dishes. So clean up, purify, all of that. It is good to manifest, like keep on with your affirmations and stuff, but don't be so focused on another person. Really, the energy this month is one of expansion versus like deliberate, conscious manifesting, where you're focusing too much on like words, affirmations, and all of that. Again, please continue to do that. It's still good. It's still a great thing. I will always recommend that. But I think from the awareness of self-love versus like saying affirmations like, I am worthy of love. I am beautiful inside and out. I am a goddess. I am a god. I am the manifestor of my reality. I release all negative, anything blocking me from love. Those kind of things, okay? So I'm going to end by picking a couple of these little message cards. This is if your person was talking to you or if you're single, that kind of thing, what kind of information you want to hear. So I am going to warn you, it can be kind of loud. So let me get a couple of these. Okay, you are pushing me away, and being with you is my favorite thing ever. Wow. Okay, so those are two conflicting energies. So this really feels like your energy is, you know, because we do manifest our reality. So you may relate to both of these things where somebody really wants to be around you and stuff, but you're pushing them away, or you're manifesting that you really want to be around somebody, but they're pushing you away. Okay. This is a manifestation thing. When we love ourselves and we're confident, people are magnetized towards us, especially the people that are really good for us. So again, this is just more confirmation to be focused on self-love and light, of beauty, of things that are true and real. This month is a month for you to, again, lay that foundation, because we had that twice. I'm really kind of blown away by that, but I love it. And so you can receive this 10 of Pentacles. You can be fully happy. You're not dependent on another person for your happiness. So that is it, guys. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You might want to check out your moon, rising, and Venus signs as well. If you're interested in a private reading, check out the description box. But that is it, guys. I love you.